Hi and welcome guys to this course about how to make progressive house in Logic Pro X. First of all, I'm gonna show you how I made this track. It's not completed, so you will get through the track process with me. So I'm gonna show you track by track how I did this track, and yeah, let's go through all these different tracks that I have here, and I'm gonna explain exactly how I did them and why I did that. And yeah, so let's go to the first sidechain here. It's just a sidechain channel where I have sidechain regions with just MIDI tracks like this. They don't give any sound output at all. You can't hear that. But you go to the Klopfgeist plugin, you will have to add this plugin, and you will have to make like a little sound from it. And then you have to make sure that you will route this track to a bus. I always do bus 64 just because that's not gonna interfere with any other buses. It will take me up to 64 buses to get to this bus, so that's why I have it on bus 64. And then when I have bus 64 here, I just press the no output, so I won't get any output of it. And why I don't need an output is just because I don't want to hear my sidechain trigger. It's just gonna act like a trigger, so it knows that when the kick hits, then any other instruments will just drop in sound. So that's why I align this MIDI track like this, like exactly like I will do with a kick drum. So that is how I do with the sidechain track. And next is just a kick drum. It's a kick drum from our sample pack that we sell on our site from Kickback number 2. It sounds like this. And I haven't done anything on the kick. It's just super as it is, so I just keep it like that. And then we have a low kick pack 2. It's the same kick as this, but we did a low pass on it, so it sounds like this. And we did just a channel EQ on this with a low cut at 270 Hz. So next we have a bass track stack. I will explain how you do the track stacking. It's just basically, in this instance, 4 different sounds routed to one mixer channel, and then we can treat it like one sound. So I will just go through the individual tracks first, and then I'm gonna go over the bass track stack. So the first individual track is this. This is just a Spire plugin here. With this preset, I tweaked it a bit, so you can just copy over these settings and you will get the exactly sound that I have. You can just pause the video here and just copy it over, so you will see how I did that. And then I also use a MIDI effects on this, and I always use this kind of MIDI effects at these plugins. It's just a preset called Maximize Velocity, and it makes the velocity go up to 127 in amount, the highest you can, so I don't have to hammer the MIDI keyboard. I can just press softly and I will get the maximum sound of it immediately. So that's why I have it on. And the first FX plugin I have is the Bit Crusher. Just this preset, I don't know. Yeah, you can just copy over the settings basically. I will take off all the plugins here and you will hear why and what it does to the sound. So let's first start with the bit crusher off. Alright, so it does make a little bit jump out of the speakers. Let's go for the isotope trash. This is the most difference it does to the sound with this plugin. So it's just a preset called Smashing the Highs, and I tweaked this a bit, just a mix, just a bit more than half here, and you will get exactly this sound. I will show you how I did, how it sounds with on and off. Yeah, it does make a big difference. Then we have the FabFilter Saturn, and I always start up with a preset called Basic Saturator and just tweak this or this. In this instance, I'll just push the highs a little bit more. So let's hear it. So it does make the highs even more out there, you know. Then I have the channel EQ. I think I should take off the lows a bit. Just push it a bit on here to get the mid bass. And just put the highs, the low highs around here, just bit push, and then just cut off the highest highs here. It's a good trick to have the highs in there, but doesn't have too much high end. So that is what I did, and also I have a compressor with, this is just a sidechain, so you choose the trigger that we set up earlier on, bus 64, and then I have a sidechain preset that is set up like this, so you can just copy it over. It's very handy to have, to just press sidechain, bus 64, and you're done with your sidechain. You can just use the threshold up or down to see how much sidechain you want on the sound. I can show you how to make that now. You see how much is it's ducking here, based on how much I use this. If I have it like this, it will duck almost all of the sound. And I have it like this, it will not duck any sound. Alright, so this is this sound, and now let's go with the next sound. And as you can see, I haven't organized this project at all in this stage. I was in the creative process, just threw all the sounds in. I probably will take off some sounds here and maybe change some sounds later on. And I will definitely organize this project, color stuff, name stuff. It's just instrument 17, instrument 9, I don't know what different stuff is on here. So let's go over this BS05 sound. It's just a serum. This is a preset, but it doesn't contain any wavetables that you need in the serum, so you can basically just copy over these settings here. It's just a compressor over here, something here, filter cutoff. So that's everything, and it sounds like this. And I know a lot of big producers use this as a lead bass, so it's very nice to have this preset in Serum, I really recommend you to save that. So what I have on here, I'll get rid of the plugins that I don't use. Yeah, Sidechain first. I think I'm gonna throw it in the last plugin. I have a DJM filter here, and it's just using the arrangement phase, so I will not treat this plugin as a effect plugin, so that's why I don't have the compressor or the sidechain here. So first of all, I have a channel EQ just to take off the lows, because the kick drum and the main lead bass sound will take over all of the lows, so that's why you take off lows of everything else basically, and just take off the highest highs also, because we have a lot of highs in this instrument here, so that's why. As you can hear, it's a bit too much with the EQ off, but if I take on the EQ, it will narrow down to like a background instrument thing, because we layer all of the instruments, so we don't want to have 4 different sounds that are like really on, really full on and really rich on highs and lows and everything, because it will get too messy when everything plays. So that's why I have it set up like this. Then I have a FF Fab Filter Saturn, and just the same thing here, just boosted the highs a bit. So you can hear the sound more. Then I have a instrument 8, we'll see what that is. Yeah, so it's just a Spire sound. It's a preset, but you can do the same thing here, just copy over the settings to follow along. You can just pause the video here and just copy over all of the settings. I think this is the oscillators that we use in this plugin, and it sounds. This is the Sidechain plugin, so that is there. I will have it on the last plugin, and the channel EQ is just low ends off. I think I will get rid of some highest highs also, and just took off a little bit here, because this is the boxiness. Around from 150 to 250. 300 almost is like boxiness. You don't want to have the boxy bass in your tracks, because that will get it takes off too much energy from your track. So that is why I take off from this instrument, because I feel that it had too much of this boxiness in this track. So okay, so now it's the last instrument in this track stack. It's a noise layer, just an ESP, where it's just purely white noise on here. We'll get rid of this one, and it's just the same white noise here. And as you can see here in the bottom of the screen, it's just the MIDI notes, and they all are playing all the same notes. So just so you know that. Alright, and then we have EQ on this. We don't want any low end at all, any mids at all. We just want the highs but not the highest highs. And I will show you why. As you can hear, it's too much highs when we don't have this on. It's so much. It does make so much difference when you have this on here. It almost makes your ears hurt, so that's why. Okay, so what you do here when you have the 4 sounds that you want to layer, you just press Control press here and make a create track stack, and you will get a instrument like this, and that you can modify and basically just press solo and you will hear all of these instruments layered. So what I did here is just another EQ and just took off some lows and some highest highs to have the sound controlled. I will also do the glue here to glue them all together, and what I do here is just take a preset and maybe choose something here. Yeah, immediately it's more controlled. We don't have the peaks going all over the place. If we take this off, it sounds more like 4 different sounds, but if we have it on, it sounds more like 1 sound. So you can't, if you don't listen for that, you can't hear any big difference in the sound. So, but it does make a big difference when you add up all of the other sounds in the track. So if you just compare it, you will hear that. Alright, so that is what we did here, and we also have a send here to a reverb, a small reverb, a room verb that we set up in our starting template. Yeah, so there's that. And then we also have a reversed reverb. It's just a reverse reverb that I chosen from the reversed reverb sample pack that we also sell. And it does make so much difference here. Just put Space Designer, just this one here, with just like a 50% reverb on this, and it makes so much difference in a track when you have this on. So that is really recommended to have. We'll also have a EQ here with just a low cut to make rid of the low end here. We don't want the low ends in the reversed reverb. And I also want it in the last chain here. I think that's too much. And the question is, how much do you know if it's too much or it's too less? How you know that is you just basically make a low pass or low cut and just go like this until you hear that the sound does like too much difference from the original sound. That is when it's too much, so we back off a little and just put it on there. So I think it's almost like around here, and it will not interfere with our bass sounds here, so I think that's pretty good. Okay, so the next channel that we have here is Omnisphere that we don't use, so we will throw that away. And here we have instrument 2. Let's see what this is. It's a pretty cool sound that I use on here. Omnisphere is really good for having this kind of strange long pads or synths or mystics stuff, and it sounds really organic, sounds really realistic. So I always use that for that kind of stuff. So what we have here is just a preset called the main chord. With this patch, yeah, I basically just threw it on here. I didn't do anything to this. And use a compressor to this sidechain, which we should have here, or at least here. Then I have a EQ on, which just took off the lows here and just the highest highs, as always, and some echoing, just a bit to get it more alive. So that is what I did with this. And the next one is this. It's the same thing, I just duplicated this track basically just to have it doubled. As you can see here, I just did it like that to the basic, but in this track I have it like a chord, so it does make more difference when we come up to the next drop, just to have it, just have the sound be like more fuller before the drop hits. So that's why. And here I have the same settings basically. I just duplicated the track, so I would just get rid of these plugins that I don't use. I always threw in plugins to test out stuff, and then when I don't like it I just disable the plugin, but it takes off some CPU, so it's good to just take the plugins off when you're ready to have your sound, when it's finished, when you feel it's finished. So that's a good thing to do. This is something. This is inspired by Axwell Ingrosso. I heard their break in one of their new songs with a kind of hip-hop-ish break. So I heard like a high pluck sound, but I wanted it to be more realistic, more than like a synth. So I did it with Omnisphere here too. Let's see if it opens up. Okay, it's this digitalized square pluck, synth pluck. And that's just a sidechain, just taking off the plugins here. And then EQ, the same thing here, just take off lows and highs. And the MIDI notes looks like this here. That is that, and here we have something else. Yeah, this is just a kind of Moog synth bass. It's same thing here, Omnisphere, because I like that moving bass sounds, that it's more like doing it with a bass synth, realistic synth. Omnisphere is really good on this. It sounds realistic, as I said before, so I use this preset here. I just chose a bass preset that I liked and just use it for here. And same thing here, just take that off. And EQ, just boosted the bass here, because this is the only bass sound in this break that I want to have. I just want this bass to be prominent. I don't have any other bass sounds, so we can have it. You can just listen to the break and you will hear what difference it does. Sounds so much fuller with this on. So then we have some other noise layer here. Let's see what this is. Yeah, that's just a basic noise on there too. It's more decay and sustain here, and just MIDI note like that. It sounds more different because I took off a lot more low end here, so that's why. And I have a lot less resonance, so it sounds a bit different, the white noise here. Alright, so now it's this instrument. Okay, this is a sub bass, I think. I just used the init preset from EXS24, so when you fire up EXS24, you will have the init sub bass preset on here. Basically, you just threw it in and you have it on. It's just a basic sine preset, and I really like it, so you can use that one when you use it for sub bass. Bass notes looks like this. And what I did with this is I think I put it too high, because I think I put it too high because you can hear it's pretty not low. You can't hear any low end here, so if I move it one octave down, I think that's better. Let's just play it. Okay, it's fighting with the kick a bit. As you can hear, it's too much. So I will get a bit more sidechain. It's still fighting with the bass too much, so let's just try it like this. And because it's a sub bass, we don't want to cut too much because there isn't gonna be any sound left. Let's put on the analyzer and you will see that. Right, so what you will do is that you want the sub bass to be like here, because this kick drum has a lot of sub bass, and the sub bass in the kick drum, it's something from here, like from here to here, or maybe to here. So this space will interfere when the kick drum and the sub bass will interfere. So you will need to make like this or like this. Let's see if it fights too much, you will have to EQ to that point, you know, and maybe you can't hear the sub bass. So in some instance you will have to take off the sub bass totally and throw in some other bass sounds with some more frequencies that ranging like from here to here, so you will have a bass sound to make the whole sound fuller. Yeah, it doesn't interfere that much now, but we'll see how it sounds in the mix later on. Okay, so here's just FX. We'll go on the FXs later on too. Something called unknown. I think I will throw it away. Oh, there is some regions. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see what that is. Yeah, it's like a bell sound that it's really good. It doesn't, you can't hear it that good in the mix, but it does make some difference in the next drop, you know. So that's good to have there. And yeah, let's go over to the next track. Alright, so what I did here is that I took some drum samples from a sample pack. I don't remember exactly the name of the sample pack, but it's a sample pack with realistic drum loops that wouldn't fit into this track. It's more of like a jazz sample pack for jazz music, basically. So what I did here is just threw it in and took just a bit of the sound, so it makes some difference in every start of the bar here. Yeah, so you can hear it's just this, and later on is the noise on, and then the reverse reverb. So you have like a combination of these three sounds going on all the time. You can get a lot more creative here and just get variations all the time. And this is the best thing to do with progressive house, because it should be progressive. It should change. It should have variations on there. So I've seen a lot of producers that have stuff like this, like 40 tracks of just snippets of other loops and other stuff going on just to get the variation, and I think that's what makes the sound professional also. This and this, I don't use that. Let's get rid of that. Here I have something. Yeah, here is the same sample pack when I used a whole loop of it that I really liked. I think it was the only sample in that sample pack that fitted into this track. And I made it 128 BPM, and it really worked in this track. You can hear how much difference that does to the track. So, and I was inspired by Kryder and Tom Starr, because I know they're using like more organic drum loops, and just make it 128 BPM and match it up with your track, and you're basically good to go. But it should sound, it should be in like a nice rhythm, but it should have the same rhythm as the other stuff in this track, and I was kind of lucky with this one. Okay, so audio 33, I think it's empty. Let's get rid of that. This one too, and this one too, this one too, or no. Oh yes, we'll take off that one. I have some shakers here that I have from producers called Seven Skies. I really like that. Just put on like a high cut here and just a bit of low cut. Right, and here we have the down lifter. Alright, and here we have some other stuff that I don't use, so let's get rid of that. Get rid of that too. Get rid of that too. And here we have a Atmosphere that I don't use also. Delete that out. We have something else. So you can hear it's just a I took a vocal sound here and just make it the first word and just looped it all over. So I made it one bar or one beat here for all of the. Just made it like a loop, and it made it like this. Really, really, really low. Just to have it like something else playing on with like in the intro, and I also have it on here, and I think I have it sound. I think I have it pitched up here in the in the break. So for that I use the sound shifter and just automate this ratio knob here. Okay, so let's go for this one. Yeah, this is just a drum loop that I found, and what this does is just, you can see here, this is automated in the intro, so it's just have the ratio up, going up and up and up, and the pitch will rise, and that's good for intro stuff. But you shouldn't have too much in the intro, so that is why I have a drum loop that is pitched. Then I have from Sample Magic here. This is just for transitioning stuff, so that's why I have it on here. I just threw stuff from different sample packs for the transitions, and I'm just looking for rising noises, rising sweeps or booms or impacts, for instance. So that is why what I'm using that for. And here is a sound called Alesso Atmo. It's just an Atmo that I found out from the producer Alesso. I use that one too, just to get some more atmosphere in the sound, just to not having it empty. Here I have some uplifters, FX sounds, impacts, all of that stuff. So basically what I do with these sounds is just throw them in, and then later on I will group them together and make them like a EQ and compressor and stuff like that. So FX riser. Here I don't know what this is. Yeah, that's like a trumpet sound that I found. This is in the break section, and this is the preset for that. This is all the settings. So you know that. And this is the EQ settings that I have. Same principle here. And yeah, this is I don't know what happened with that one, so I will use a space designer for this and just put it on like that. Take off the EQ from the reverb itself. It's pretty important to do. So you just press the EQ and just through like that. You don't need the lows of the reverb, basically never. So and oh, I already have a EQ space design here. So but you could see there what I did to the reverb, so that's good. let's have it like that. Yeah, and this is the sound for the beat in the break, like a hip hop beat. And it sounds like this. It sounds pretty good. Where I found this is just the Apple loops from Logic. So you just press here, just press hip hop, and I think it names Aurora beat. Maybe I found it in the R&B section. Yeah, here it is. And you can use this in your projects. You can use Apple loops how you want. They're free, and you can use it in your professional productions. So go ahead and use it. And then I also downloaded a sample with just a guy saying hey 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 all the time. And this should be reverb too. So let's go on and make something like this, not reversed. This, I don't use this one, not that one, and not that one, and not even that one, and not that one. Okay, so next instrument is this. And it's the same thing here, Apple loops. You just search on vocoder lyric 04 and you will have the same sound. And what I did is that I took this and I took the 05 also and just put them afterwards. Don't use that one too. And same thing here. It's called vocoder lyric 08 and 09. So that will Okay, so that is all of the sounds in this project, and I also have some stuff in the master that I use. Makes so much difference, this plugin. You just copy over these settings and you will have a lot of difference immediately. The glue 2, the preset the glue 2, and BX digital, like this. It's just a mono maker steer width a bit, just to make it wider, but not not making the sound to be too wide. And the same thing here, just mono maker at 200 Hz. I will get through all of these plugins later on, but I just produce with the plugins on. So fatness 5%, sausage fattener, and I also use the universal audio, but I think I'm gonna go with FabFilter Pro L for this one, for the limiter. So let's take transparent and loud. Just put the gain up. sounds just a bit better, I guess. And not too much difference, but I'm gonna go for that one. So I will show you the rest later on, but this is where I came with the track in this stage, and now we're gonna build on with some effects and some other stuff, just building off of the sounds, organizing and finishing, mixing and mastering the track.